If having a physical body is necessary to become a god, how did Jesus become a god before he had a body?
Question 43. If having a physical body is necessary to becoming a god, how did Jesus become a god before he had a body? Now, I believe I've addressed this in other questions, but we will go over it again. First of all, there is a difference between Godhead and godhood. The Godhead is a title of authority and includes only three beings, they being the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. These three are one God and together form the ruling presidency of heaven. Godhood, on the other hand, is a state of existence. Now, just as we existed as spirit before this life, and we currently exist in a state of mortality, so it is also true that if we are faithful and diligent in this life, we can be exalted and perfected in a state that we refer to as godhood after this life. This state of existence, the state of godhood, requires the spirit and the physical bodies to be joined in immortal perfection and then glorified with celestialized exaltation. This is the state in which the Father exists, and the state in which he did exist before this world was created. Christ, before this world was created, existed as a spirit. He then entered mortality when he was born to Mary, and existed in a state of mortality for about 33 years in the meridian of time. After his death and resurrection, he was brought into this perfected, exalted state that is referred to as godhood. This fact is attested to in the Scriptures. Comparing two passages, and first in the Bible, Matthew chapter 5, verse 48, as he delivers the Sermon on the Mount, near the end, Christ declares, "Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect." Now, a quick note, the term perfect in this passage means complete or having reached a distant goal. So when he says, "Be therefore perfect," he means be complete. He is talking about being celestialized and perfected in eternal celestial glory. But note that in Matthew, he references only the Father as an example of one who has thus been perfected. Later, in 3 Nephi chapter 12, verse 48, he teaches again the Sermon on the Mount to the Nephites with some minor changes. And in this verse we have the following. He says, "Therefore I would that ye should be perfect, even as I, or your Father who is in heaven, is perfect." So now that he has been resurrected, Christ is including himself in the state of eternal perfection that we refer to as godhood. But he did not include himself in that state before he was resurrected. So what we have is before he was born on this earth as still a spirit, Christ was a member of the Godhead. He had all the power and authority that goes with that title. But before he was born into mortality, he did not exist in an eternal, celestialized state of exaltation. This came only after his resurrection, at which point he entered the state that we call godhood.